Hi, I'm Bryan Stalcup, and I'm a garage shop fabricator. Well, I wanted to build a bike after watching all the shows and stuff that are on television, but I wanted to build one that was different. After about a month, I kind of put things together, and I wanted to build a hubless bike. But finding the bearing was a big situation. I mean, you can't just go out and buy one of these bearings. They're extremely expensive. And so I thought I'd just go to scrap yards and just look at different ideas. So I spent probably 10 different trips to scrap yards. And one day I just came across the bearing that I needed. The bearing is wrapped around this piece of pipe right here. And I had these two rims I got from the scrap yard, and I knocked the centers of them out. And I slid those two pieces of rims right over the piece of pipe, and I tacked it in place. And I had to build my own gear that goes around that wheel right there, and it has a belt. That's what turns it. The inside of the bearing rotates while the outside of the bearing is stable. That's what the frame's tied to. And there's a jack shaft up there where the belt goes around. The engine, the transmission goes around that jack shaft is what turns it. You can see the belt fits right between the tires. I wanted it out far enough but it wouldn't hit the road. And you can see that has two different Dodge 20 rims on the back of it. I had to find a way to cover this section up. It was really hard to do with this. I can't just go and look at other bikes and see how this is made. I had to figure out a way to cover this whole section up. And like even getting the metal on this thing, I had to get pieces of paper out and lay it out and just get an idea of what it's going to look like. I actually made this 3 different times too. It's like every time I've done something, it's like about the 3rd time I get it right. The sheet metal right here, I just got the metal and cut it, and I hand bent this around. I tack welded it, I moved it here, moved it there. There's a lot of trial and error in there too. And like the other metal, like on the gas tank too, I would use on the English wheel. I'm gonna end up bondoing and covering all this up after I grind all the welds down to make it look a lot better on this bike. Like on this back section where the seat is, I had another seat that was a lot lower than this. The oil tank was originally at the front of the bike. And I made all this section right here and built this back piece right here. I had to make it all fit with the computer and everything all fits in the back of this, and all the electrical wiring fits underneath this section. When you turn the corner, a lot of people don't know that it swivels like that. It's got a soft tail back end of the bike. This frame right here, I had to cut out the whole top section of that and put in a new piece of pipe right there. I went through that like 3 times. Even using the tree out there to bend the pipe didn't work. I had to use a pipe bender. That's a little challenging. It's like when I bought this, you know, the motorcycle company went out of business, so I had the opportunity to buy an engine and transmission that was on another frame. So I took that engine and stuff, and when I put it on here, I had to make new motor mounts. Like the whole front end of this bike, I got it off the Iron Horse. And I bought the engine and the front end and the frame all together. It was already on there. So the one I already had made from scratch, I scrapped that one and just used this. And I kind of made it my own by putting some points and, you know, a few things here and there in the headlight. This backbone right here, this originally was straight right through here. And I had another tank on here that eventually it didn't look, it was okay until my brother bought a tank for his bike that was so good that I had to take and change this up. So I cut the backbone, bent this piece of pipe right here, went through several bends to get this just right. Then I took these pieces of metal, cut them out, and you know, pounded it out with a hammer. Took it on an English wheel to get that bend just right. I went through like a week just trying to get that thing where it just curves right up like that. Then I wanted the sides where it curves in and underneath. These are actually 2 separate tanks right here on rubber mounts. These are where you put the gas in the on the gas tank, I'm going to cut the holes where these are flush fit fillers on there. It'll make it look a lot better if I use these. And if I just cut that hole, they'll drop down in there. But I have a little guide right here. It's this piece of metal. It just happens to be the right size. I mean, whenever you're cutting a piece of metal, I mean, like if I took a cutting torch like that and cut some metal out, it would warp it because it would bring up so much heat. With the Hypertherm plasma cutter, the Power Max 30, when you cut it, it falls to the ground, you can pick it up and it's not even hot. The Hypertherm plasma cutter cuts like a hot knife through butter. Maybe a little tricky to that. See where it's at. There it is. Oh my gosh, that thing. Perfect, man. Flush fit. And you screw that in there and you turn it down in there. That's what it's going to look like when you finish it. Watching FFJournal TV. Look at that. Fits perfect too, man. I mean, the things that you can do if you only had the tools, you just don't know. I mean, when I got a welder, it opened up a lot of opportunities for me. I mean, it brings out all the stuff that you never knew that you could do.